Boy howdy, all those pro-second amosexual motherfuckers sure are silent right now, which is wild considering their whole ass argument about having every gun known to man in their house is because they don't trust the government. But I mean, I guess they just missed the message that a self-described fascist who self-describedly hates freedom and says it's bad, the same guy who also is a foreign billionaire, has been tapped by the Trump administration to build a database on every American citizen based on the information stolen by Elon Mussolini's douche. Literally not just a registry of your guns, but also your whole ass life. But tell me more about how the tyrants asked you to wear a mask during a global pandemic, you bootlicking simp. But I digress. What's up, fam of liberty? And also everyone else watching this video who isn't following our channel for some mystifying, stupefying, unknown reason. It's your queer uncle Big Sarge, or the artist formerly known as Admin Tim. I am the founder of the Sons of Liberty social media organization that has been steadily enraging MAGA fuckface ass clowns since about 2015, and more recently some super woke leftists who threw a temper tantrum about Kamala Harris in Gaza, and oh fucking wow, look how that turned out for you. Anyway, if you saw us out in the streets at a protest for the first time, and or you're new to our channel, I know what you might be thinking, what with the beard and the shirt, so let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck neo-Nazi illegal immigrant Elon Musk. Fuck GOP politicians. And fuck all these limp dick Democrat politicians that aren't doing shit for us. And fuck the billionaires, the wealth hoarders that have their fucking boots on the neck of just about every American citizen. Neither this channel nor its comment sections are a safe space for bootlicking simps for a Russian asset, adjudicated rapist, convicted felon, Wish.com fascist oligarch, failed insurrectionist, wannabe authoritarian tyrant, or his sugar daddy, the world's biggest supervillain, thin-skinned, beta bitch-made man-child cuck from South Africa that nobody fucking elected and who is a complete idiot and is almost as bad as business at fucking everything, just like Donald Trump, except for the fact that Elon Musk knows how to hire people to make him look better. Still digressing. Now you know where I stand on things, so if you're still here and you're not frantically rage typing into the comments box like a triggered snowflake who's ass mad about libs coming for your guns but not the wannabe fascists creating databases on you, then maybe consider following this channel after you watch this video and deciding whether or not you like the cut of my jib. This month being Pride Month and me being an indie filmmaker, not to mention a huge fan of King of the Hill, I want to break from tradition for just a moment and mourn the loss of Native American actor and voiceover talent Jonathan Joss, who provided the world with the voice of John Redcord among his many other roles such as Red Dead Redemption, Parks and Rec, Charmed, and a whole bunch of others. I posted this on our Facebook page last night, but since some of y'all don't do Facebook, I'm going to touch on it briefly here today. Jonathan was an out gay man living with his husband in San Antonio. They had been facing harassment and threats of violence for some time now, and San Antonio police allegedly ignored most of it. Their pets had been murdered, their home was burned down, and this past Sunday, Jonathan was shot by a neighbor when Jonathan returned to the home for reasons that aren't apparent yet. I know a lot of times we say let's not rush to judgment, but I mean, it doesn't look good. Anyway, until Valhalla, brother. My guest on tonight's live stream is a Democratic Party candidate for Arizona's 6th Congressional District, Aiden Swallow. Aiden served in the United States Army for almost 20 years. Her aims to connect with voters through her everyday American background, emphasizing authenticity and honesty to build trust across both rural and urban demographics. Her campaign plans include fundraising, petitioning, and hosting town halls in all district counties to increase her visibility and gather constituent feedback. Her campaign also emphasizes rejecting donations from billionaires and super PACs, prioritizing grassroots support to ensure authentic representation of the needs of her constituents. And furthermore, her campaign also targets the 1%, proposing to force them to pay their taxes to fund social programs and support Americans who are living paycheck to paycheck, kind of like we used to do in the Gilded Age. So tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern on the Sons of Liberty YouTube or Facebook. This past Sunday, the 1st of June, Ukraine's security service, which goes by the acronym SBU, launched Operation Pavutina, which means Spiderweb in Ukrainian. The operation targeted Russia's long-range bombers using AI-trained first-person view drones. This attack sets a precedent as nothing like it has ever occurred in military history. The Ukrainian Secret Service produced the drones covertly within Russian territory and launched them from regular trucks at close range. One of the airfields hit was the Belaya Air Base in Russia's Irkutsk Oblast, which is more than 4,300 kilometers from Ukraine. That is just under a ball hair less than the greatest distance from coast to coast in the contiguous United States, which is approximately 2,800 miles or 4,509 kilometers. That's essentially the distance between the easternmost point in Maine, West Quoddy Head, and San Jose, California. See, what had happened was Ukraine built these FPV drones in-house in Ukraine under the tightest security so that no leaks could occur from anyone helping to import them into the country. Ukraine built mobile wooden cabins like tiny houses or miniature mobile homes, mounted them on the backs of trucks. They put these drones inside these cabins and drove these trucks through circuitous routes into Russia. At an appointed signal, the roofs of these cabins all opened remotely and a total of 117 drones launched. The drones struck 5 air bases, damaging or destroying over 34% of Russia's strategic cruise missile carriers, their Tu-95 and Tu-22M3 bombers. The damage has been estimated at over $7 billion US, which is like a gajillion Russian rubles, since their economy is even deeper in a nasty shitter than America's economy right now. These bombers are also being used to target Ukrainian cities. Furthermore, because of the embargoes and sanctions that we've had on Russia for, well, fucking since forever, because I don't even remember when we didn't. Because of these punitive measures, Russia can't rebuild or replace these destroyed assets. Combined with the disastrous heavy losses that Ukraine has been inflicting on Russia's navy and army, costing them irreplaceable ships, tanks, fighting vehicles, and infantry, this is a major fucking win for Ukraine. As a bonus, the quote-unquote office for the operation was located just a few miles away from an office of the Russian Federal Security Service, or FSB, which is the successor agency to the Soviet Union's KGB. Ukraine President Zelensky confirmed that this operation took at least 18 months to plan, develop, and implement. These drones, which were launched from cargo trucks, have been sitting dormant for a few months, waiting for everyone to get into place. Now, to be clear, this means that Ukraine's President Zelensky has been sitting on this operation whilst simultaneously taking smart aleck attitude from U.S. Vice President James Donald Bowman, aka Shady Vance, aka Vladimir Putin, during his visit to the White House, also whilst meeting with Trump at the Pope's funeral, and also the entire fucking time he's been watching their incompetence over the past few months, trying to negotiate a solution. And at no point ever once did this guy say, I hear you talking all this shit, but you know what we're doing? Zelensky sat there and endured verbal abuse and lies from Putin's cockholsters, Trump and Vance, all the while knowing that he had to keep this quiet because it would otherwise shock the entire world, as well as torpedo his plans because OPSEC. There is no fucking way in hell that Donald Trump could sit quietly on an operation this size for this long without running his goddamn incompetent mouth. You want to know how I know that Donald Trump instinctively knows that he's a little bitch? Because he undoubtedly got a briefing from the National Security Advisor, who almost certainly tried to put a spin on this in such a way that Ukraine's gains were downplayed, as well as Russia's losses being downplayed. And what was Trump's social media output that day? To shitpost someone else's weird-ass conspiracy theory that Joe Biden was replaced in 2020 by a robot. That's how much of a fucking loser he is. Now, Russia isn't down for the count. They've been advancing their own drone capabilities themselves. They launched a strike into Ukraine of nearly 500 drones the day after the strike on their own airfields. I think they targeted a training that was well off the front lines. With so many drones operating on and well back from the front lines, it's virtually impossible to amass troops of any size anywhere and not catch a swarm of drones coming your way. It's hard to know where the conflict would be right now if we'd had a president who had maintained pressure on Russia and supported unity among the NATO allies the way that Joe Biden was doing. We wouldn't see massively staggering losses for Russia, but we definitely see more obvious strain on Russia's efforts, in addition to Ukraine's gains increasing. And that's how you win the Red Queen race of an adaptation-counter-adaptation conflict. You cause a scenario where the next adaptation in the cycle is too costly to match with a counter adaptation, either by the absolute cost or relative decline in the resources available with which you can innovate. The resistance starts with us. You want to know how you can get involved in the Sons of Liberty resistance movement? We have been organizing Sons of Liberty chapters by region and state all across the country. I promote the Sons of Liberty Discord server in almost every long-form rant video that I do because Discord is where our fam of liberty is based, and it's also how you get vetted for Signal, which is a separate platform that maybe you heard about in the news because of Pete Whiskey Leaks Keg Breath. On our Discord server, you can organize with your local fam of liberty for things like gatherings, rallies, and protests. You can even plan a bake sale. You can get vetted for Signal, which is how we coordinate protest actions and other things, like June 6th. On our Discord server, you can learn about practical matters such as self-defense courses, find firearms instructors who are local to you and who are left-leaning. You can learn about home defense, home security. You can participate with subject matter experts on conversations about firearms and other things. Learn about growing your own food in victory gardens, canning and jarring and preserving that food. You can figure out your shit hits the fan contingency plans, build bug out bags, first aid kits, link up with other fam of liberty members who can assist you with, as an example, going somewhere safe if you need to go somewhere safe, going out of state for some camping. For those of you who have mentioned in the comment sections that you don't see our social media posts or videos, even though you follow us, on Discord, you can get all of the updates from our social media platforms, which does make our Discord ping heavy thanks to the webhooks we use to integrate our various social media notifications. However, you can disable those in the channel that's named Ping Roll. Just go in there and push a button. If you're having trouble with Discord, I have this handy dandy video on how to use the Sons of Liberty Discord server and how to get onto it, get set up with your access permissions. So if you need assistance, you can start with that video. And if you still need help, we actually have a Discord tutorial on the Liberty 1765 website that Admin Asia and the web development IT team have been working on. And that tutorial is text-based and has some pictures on it and has step-by-step instructions for at least how to do it on like the PC or Mac and how to do it in a web browser. With mobile, it's kind of the same. It's just condensed into this little narrow thing. Anyway, thank you to Admin Asia for that. If after all of that, you can still reach me via the email address that's listed in our link tree. The invite link to our Discord server is in the Throatpunch at the end of this video and all of our other videos. That invite link is also in the YouTube and Facebook video description and in the YouTube and TikTok channel description. On Facebook, I have this whole pinned post with all of our socials, as well as a Linktree page that has all the socials there as well. If you like the shirts like this one or the hoodie that I wear in my videos, some of them, but not all of them, are available in the Sons of Liberty merch store, which is on Etsy. On occasion, our Etsy store does have products temporarily disabled because MAGA fuckface ass clowns report the content as violent or dangerous or whatever triggers them. So I often have to appeal these claims, and then I get the standard, we may take your store down for content violations if you keep doing this. So if you're looking for cool patriotic swag like this shirt or stuff that mocks Trump, going to get you one. The merch store is listed in the link tree on our YouTube channel description and in the video description. I put up new merch all the time. A lot of these designs and merch get added specifically because you request them in our comment sections or you send me something for free 99 for everybody else to use. I put up a Taco Don's chicken shirt because a few people requested it in the comments on our Taco Don's chicken video that we did a couple weeks ago. No, it's last week, whatever. I also put up a shirt that says bassists against racists because A, it rhymes, and B, because your boy Big Sarge plays bass in a metal band. And I wanted something to wear on stage at a gig that I was going to do. I also put up a shirt with a picture of a nut and a bolt and directional arrows, but instead of saying righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, it says la derecha oprime, la izquierda libera, which colloquially means the same thing, but the literal translation is the right oppresses and the left liberates. I'm still working on a Stop Simping for Your Oppressor shirt. I've got a cool idea of a Statue of Liberty wrapped up in chains, but doing the chains is going to be difficult, but it's super fucking metal. If you like our video content, we have a whole social media presence elsewhere on like 15 different platforms, so we'd appreciate it if you would follow us on all of our other socials, whichever ones that you've got. The various socials that we have are listed in the Throatpunch at the end of our videos and in the link tree, which can, again, be found on the channel descriptions. On YouTube and TikTok, we would also appreciate it if you would subscribe, like, and get notifications on our channel. A little bit of a different process on TikTok, but if you're on TikTok, you already knew that. Anyway, I don't often use TikTok for long form videos since they've essentially shadow banned us and limited our reach, but you can help us extend our reach on all the platforms by sharing our video content on whichever socials that you've got. You can go find the relevant Sons of Liberty account on that platform and then share the content, including this video, because it's probably linked there already. You can help us beat the algorithm by leaving us at least 7 words in the comment sections. Why 7 words, you might ask? Posting at least 7 words in the comment section is the magic number for the algorithm to decide that your engagement on our content is more meaningful and thought-provoking than a drive-by LOL, what you said, or looking good, big stars, or whatever. So therefore, it should suggest our videos and our channel to people who watch the same things that you watch, which helps us extend our reach. That algorithm works on most other social media platforms, so be cognizant of that on places where you support your favorite content creators. On that note, if you have watched this video all the way to the end, and literally nothing that I've talked about has stirred your mental processes to gift you with the words to leave a comment here, but you still want to help us beat the algorithm, then the phrase, "I made it to the end, Big Sarge," is actually 8 words. So if you can't think of anything else to say, despite all of the rage bait that I've thrown out here today, mocking Russia, cheering Ukraine, then there's a suggestion for you. That is my time for today. 2 claps and a Rick. Fight like your ancestors. 1 team, 1 fight. Join or die, fam. Woo!
And now it's time for the Throatpunch!
Operation Pavutina, which is a fancy Ukraine word for... It's probably not fancy. It just sounds fancy when you're fucking only speaking American.